guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time. I sat down and actually held the camera to my face, so while I was editing the moving vlog, this story was not adding up, so I decided to do, should I call it a little story time on how the whole thing went, because it is not an easy one. It was not an easy one. As you saw, I moved with a train. That was the first time because I had a job here in Minsk and I needed to. It was an in-office job, which I quit after 1 week. I'm gonna do a separate story time about that one. So I had to move with a train, and the last part of my moving, I used a Sienna car. I think the bag was free. So anyways, I just want to talk about everything, how searching to the moving. So week of November, I don't know the exact date, came to live with my friend Sylvia to search for an apartment. Guys, you know how it is searching for apartment here in Belarus. I don't know how it is in other countries, but it's not as easy as it should be. I don't know. You call someone, oh, I want to rent an apartment. The first thing they hear is your accent, because you definitely know a native Russian speaker. They're like, no, we're not giving out to foreign people. Or some of them don't even put, oh, we're not going to give out to foreign people. You call them and they tell they're not going to give it to you. It's best they put it there, because sometimes they write it there, foreign people do not disturb. And I won't disturb you, trust me. So I had rejections while I was looking for an apartment. No. It was really tiring. So the last one, which is the one I'm in right now, that one too had its own skoy. So I had this apartment. I called the lady. She said she was going to get back to me that night. I thought it was a joke, but she actually did get back to me. And do you know what the problem was when we came to see the apartment the next day? So we went in, we saw the apartment. She was with her dad and her daughter. I'm like, okay, we like the apartment. We're going to take the apartment. They're like, no, that 2 extra people are coming to see the apartment. Oga, we're the first people that came here, and we've told you we've accepted to take the apartment. We won't have money to pay. So as I was saying, we have the money to pay. Like, I don't see what the problem is. I've seen the apartment. Can I take this apartment and stop this crazy apartment search here? They were quiet for some time. Then they went back to discussing. The girl and her father were discussing. We're like, we have the money, please. Just, we are tired. Edakum. Help us. So anyway, God will have it. The apartment became ours. We paid right there. In fact, the problem was not wanting to start the rent at the day of payment, but my rent in Grodno was still counting. So he decided that if we don't make the rent start today, then we can't take the apartment. So I just had to pay. So I had 2 rents, one in Grodno and one here in Minsk. So I paid and the apartment was mine. And the next phase was for me to tell my landlord in Grodno that I want to move out. Everything with Minsk was done. Just time for me to travel back to Grodno to settle that whatever thing over there with my landlord. So because I asked a lot of people, a lot of them suggested I clear my things first of all before informing him, because there were stories of how they change their behavior once they find out that you are moving out of the apartment. Some of them change the locks, some of them use your clothes as rice, do some stuff, even accuse you of destroying or damaging something you did not, all because you chose to move out of the apartment. So I was so scared and worried what's going to happen, because the apartment I lived there for like 5 years and it wasn't maintained. So some things were destroyed, not me, but due to natural causes. So eventually I started moving my stuff. I and my housemate, we cleaned the apartment and asked him to come. I want to say something here. Before, the rent was always on the 16th of every month. So I asked him some months ago if we could move the rent collection date to 24th. So I got back to Grodno on the 26th. So I thought it was 2 days after the 24th. So I'm going to pay for 2 days, not knowing that he was going to come and ask us to pay from the 15th. It was 16th when he came, the day he came. So he comes the next day and I tell him, okay, I'm in Grodno now, but I've been in Grodno 2 days earlier to clear my stuff to my baby's house. So he comes and he's like, oh, I heard that you are moving your stuff. I don't know whether neighbors with their mouth they leak informed him about it. And I'm like, yeah, they were moving to Minsk. He's like, get me a pen, and lo and behold, Uncle started from 15th. I'm like, 15th? I thought the rent was 24th, but if you wanted to go back, it's 16th. So he counted from the 15th and was like, when are we going to leave? Since that day he came was on the 28th, I'm like, oh, okay, make it half of the month. So we're going to leave on the 30th of November. It's like, okay, 30th of November, and we gave him half of the rent from the 15th to the 30th of November. So we cancel our registration. The next day he takes the key. I was scared he was going to ask us to pay for damages, but he didn't. He is actually a nice man. He's actually a nice man. Anyway, so that was it. And the second moving I had to use the Sienna, like I said earlier. And here we are in Minsk. So far, I've been indoors most of the time. The weather is cold, it's snowing, and even wanting to create content outside, I'm not really in the mood for it. I've been really, really busy and not just in the mood. So maybe I'll see what I can do to step out some days to look around the city, see some places, and I'm just waiting for spring because to be a bit cold, not as cold as it is right now. Just want to lay on my bed every morning. Not going anywhere, really. Anyways, that's it, and I'm here, and I'm really happy I did move because I was getting depressed at some point. I was just done with that apartment. I just needed a new location. Tired of Grodno. I've been there for like 7 years. So it was time to move to something different. I was like, even if I could not move to Minsk, I'll move to another city. But anyways, I'm glad I chose Minsk. And my apartment is in a beautiful, beautiful location. Like, it's beautiful. Anyways, that's all, and I'll be ending the video here. I'm so grateful for everyone who has been here, and if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. Thank you, thumbs up. Thank you for the support so far, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.